They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it second and a foot or so. Now a first carry for T.J. Yeldon. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
T.J. Yeldon's not afraid to drop a shoulder or run through some tackles, is he?
Not at all. I learned it in his high school days in Alabama. Then, of course, stayed in state to play at Alabama. He could do that there.
And what I think is best about him, and when he's really on top of his game, when he's a little bit lighter, a little bit quicker, I think he's strong enough. He's compact enough to break those tackles, but I think he's at his best at a shiftier weight.
On 1st and 10, Watson. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And he's going to be out of bounds down near the 35-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Second down following the run. From the gun, here's Watson. Fuller brings it in over the middle. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. Watson hands this to Foreman. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here.
Here we go.
They run again with Foreman. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a first and goal.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Here's Foreman. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. A great effort there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Texans take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. And the Texans take a 7-0 lead. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it was finished off by Deontay Foreman on the touchdown run. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And now movement here right away. Maybe a sign of things to come with this crowd.
False start, offense.
Yeah, that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. Johnson on the counter. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. Here's Luck now on second down. And that's going to be incomplete. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Out of the gun, Luck. Wide open receiver complete. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28.
As far as I'm concerned, Andrew Luck can do it all. I mean, he's an underrated runner. Toughness in the pocket, strong and stout. But let's face it, the money, that comes from his arm.
And smart, valedictorian of it. Now a hit, and Luck lost the football. It's out. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. Holding on to the football becoming a little bit of an issue. He had 2 fumbles last week, remember.
I played for a guy that used to talk all the time about creating turbulence in the pocket, making the quarterback jumpy, make him antsy, keep getting it.
And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Justin Ellis able to collapse the pocket and drop him for a loss of 3. They said there was a lot of discussion in their defensive team meeting room after last week's performance. They had 7 sacks. Something in the water. There's one in the first quarter.
A lot of discussion, a lot of excitement, because now everyone wants to get involved with this. Who's going to continue that process? Who's going to get to the quarterback this week? But they have to be careful. When you have that much pressure, they want to use it against you. Draws, screens, those types of plays.
We'll see if they do that.
Here we go.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete.
I wonder, Brandon, I just wonder, you think maybe he was worried about where he was on the field? Was he far enough? Was he close enough to the first down sticks?
Absolutely. He was right there by him, and I think he was thinking first down before he caught that football.
Yeah, got to catch it first, because if you don't catch it, there's no chance of picking up a first down. Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Luck on first down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Doyle. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. A look at the numbers for Doyle from a week ago. 7 catches, 56 yards.
Better tighten up the coverage if you expect to slow this guy down, because if he gets going, he'll eat you up.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd down. And time's going to run out here before the snap. And that'll do it for the first quarter of play. 7-0 is our score. We're back to Houston in just a moment. From the 50, it's Luck. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Bernardrick McKinney with a big-time sack on 3rd down. And it'll be a loss of 7.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And he'll take this in at the 1-yard line. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Texans are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Very tough spot here for the offense to start.
Come on, let's go.
On 1st down, Watson. It's complete to Fuller. And he showcases the spin, a pretty good gain before he's taken down. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the 1st down. They love being physical.
Now a 1st down throw, Watson. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. And he is out of bounds, getting it across the 30-yard line. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think? A guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a tire breakdown on what the coverage was. That everyone thought they were doing something, and they were supposed to be doing something else. But bottom line is, no matter what, you have to know where he is and cover him on every play.
To throw on second is Watson. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line, or he's...
It's caught inside the 25. He got 29 yards that time. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Yeldon. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Here we go.
From the gun on 3rd, Watson. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete. Coming up at halftime, remember, we'll get you out to Larry Ridley in Orlando for highlights and analysis of this first half. That is, of course, unless you decide to skip him.
And for the record, we do not encourage that.
So a good kick that time, and he's able to redeem himself from the previous miss.
And fortunately for him, he got the chance to do that not long after missing the first time. Sometimes a whole game goes by, and you don't get that chance at all. So you keep it with you till the next time you take the field.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn into first downs and hopefully points.
A gain of 11 that time, and a Colts first down. First down now, but that clock rolling. On first down, Luck. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. A good pickup there at 22. Now Luck. Caught left side by Hilton. He got 29 yards that time.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
From the red zone now, Luck. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
2nd and 10, Luck again. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And prior to this 3rd and 2 play, we're going to get a timeout call, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Again, Luck. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
And Vinatieri's kick is good. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
Yeah, as an offensive coordinator, if you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work. But in his defense, this has been a stifling defense so far. So they've got to start finding a way to unlock them as this game goes on.
On first down, it's Watson. He's got Fuller. Will Fuller, nobody there to stop him. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Texans are able to show off their quick strike ability. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. One play, a long touchdown pass into the end zone. Gets fielded in the end zone. Some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. Now the Colts offense gets ready to head back on the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the 2nd half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Back to the air. Luck on 2nd down. Over the middle here, it's Hilton. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Now we've got whistles and a flag. Looked like one of the Colts linemen might have jumped.
False start, offense.
Well, it was a 3rd and somewhat manageable, now not so manageable.
Exactly, because you had a play call on that you felt like, hey, this could go quick, and it doesn't take much to get it done. Now, you got to start thinking about a little bit of a deeper route type of a call, especially if you want to throw it.
Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And not a whole lot doing there, as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. The Colts send out their punter. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is taken at the 15. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Now a look at Will Fuller as he and the rest of the offense gears up to get ready to go again. There's a lot of talk in training camp about him getting off to a hot start this year, saying that they needed that. Well, he's done it through the first month.
Kind of reminds me of one of those great musical groups where one person has their name out front, then they have the backups, right? He's the guy out front because the backups, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, but we're going to the headliner each and every time. And that's not easily done because, you know, all the defenses are kicking towards him right now. That means he's fighting his way through traffic, finding ways to get open, even when he's not supposed to be.
And he's going to be taken down here, as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for him. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. It'll be a 3-yard gain. And just like that, it's third down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play. But if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
From the gun on third down, Locke. And this one is incomplete.
And we're into the second half now. This is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. And let's shift our attention to Will Fuller. Good day for him so far here in the third quarter. He's hit pay dirt once, over 100 yards. But, hey, it's the third quarter. He's thinking, I want more, right?
He wants more, and it just increases the confidence of his team. Because every...
And nothing but daylight ahead. 20, 10, touchdown, Houston. A big play there, an 80-yard touchdown, and the Texans will add on to their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit, get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast, game being on second half no matter what. Well, those first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever, this was a big score to start the second half.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense.
And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. The 20. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. A big play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Colts are able to cut into this lead. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, I feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they? That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to. They didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. They'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Back to throw, Watson. Going right side here, and that's complete. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic, and people are wanting to put a little contact on him. Really well done.
It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up fourth down.
But that certainly felt like an example of a defense just saying, okay, we've had enough. We've gotten mashed all night long. About time we got a good play in. But flip it over to the offensive side. They've got to be really upset that they allowed a play like that to happen. They were pitching such a great game, they want to keep it going.
So after the missed long field goal attempt, this offense set up nicely at the 44-yard line. They'll try to get the offense going with Johnson. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
And while there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
It's a loss of 2, now third down.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
They'll fake it. Now Locke. He's going to float this one deep right side. So they took a shot there on third down, couldn't get it. Now it's fourth.
Well, partner, I think the defensive fellas got the memo, and they decided to cover him on that play.
Yeah, he's already up over 100 yards in this game. They tried a deep shot, couldn't get it.
Yeah, when you've had that much success, finally someone said, let's try and put a stop to it and put people on him.
And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Deshaun Watson of the Texans offense trot back out there. He's been a good game manager. They're winning here in the third quarter, but really the ground game is where it's been at for them, hasn't it?
So whatever the game plan was, you just got to focus on continuing to run the football. And really that takes the pressure off of the guy throwing it around. Doesn't have to be the focal point. Hand it off, let him chew up the yardage in big plays, and your team's winning. The only people upset, the fantasy guys who may have started him at quarterback in their leagues.
And we'll see if they continue with the recipe of the ground game. Here's Watson now on second down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And it's knocked away and incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And that'll make it third down.
I like the boldness, and I like that they took a shot downfield, but it was well covered, and he's able to get a hand in and knock it away.
Watson to throw on third down. He goes underneath for Yeldon. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. They'll run it now out of the gun. And unable to get downhill there, as he'll take this up to about the 37. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Texans on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 9. Out of the gun, Watson. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
This is taken around the 12. A good kick, 48 yards, 4 on the return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Now a 1st down throw. Luck. Screen play. Johnson. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
Luck. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Now it's Luck. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a 4th quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. That's fielded in the end zone. A couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And he'll take it out to the 25. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. Fresh off the pick 6, it's Luck. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
On 2nd and 10, Luck. No, he doesn't have it. Maybe some alligator arms there going over the middle. 3rd down. It's been that kind of a day so far throwing the football. It just seems like nothing going right offensively.
Yeah, it's a catch that should have been made, pure and simple. And look, everything else that goes into running a good pass route, throw it all out if you don't catch the ball.
Been that kind of game throwing the football so far. Nothing going right offensively. I don't know. He had to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I'm giving him some credit.
Well, I'm thinking about the mental focus, you know.
Yeah.
The mental focus.
Yeah, that's true.
Got to stay with it.
That's true. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Texans take over an excellent field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
Jeremy Langford is in. He gets the carry. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the 4th.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
And a short kick, taking it about the 16. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
He gets it to Sims, complete. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. They're giving those short little routes. Tackled him in bounds, too. They're just not wanting to get beat over the top.
Yeah, and if you can't really get downfield, take the short routes. But now you got to have guys who can actually break tackles and increase those gains.
Luck now to throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. And a big collision there as he winds up flat on his back. A good pickup there of 20 yards. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times. Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. 2nd down here after the incomplete pass. To the air again, Luck. He gets it left side to Johnson. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. Call it a pickup of 7, and they're going to have a 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And he gets the 1st down here as he's taken down at the 24. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Fresh set of downs here. Throwing again is Locke. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Doyle. A big hit. Knocked down sideways. A gain of 6 there on 1st. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Luck throwing again. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Johnson the intended target, and it's 3rd and 4.
And that incompletion was caused by the defense. I think they were trying to get one into the middle of the field, trying to find a receiver there. But they were in zone defense. And what are the advantages of being in zone? Eyes and reaction. Eyes meaning all eyes are on the quarterback and able to react when he throws the football and rally to that spot, and that's exactly what happened there. Able to get there and knock it away.
They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Out of the gun, Luck. He's got it. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. A gain of 7 that time. 2nd goal.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
On 2nd down, here's Luck. And his throw here's incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
And he won't get to the marker as they're going to stop it for a 2nd straight play right at the line of scrimmage.
Now, this feels like old-school football because this has turned into a good old-fashioned goal line stand. So on offense, what do you do now? Do you decide to run it or throw it if you go for it on 4th down?
And Vinatieri's kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. Well, in the grand scheme of things, it's likely not going to matter much, but at least they get themselves 3 points closer to respectability.
And I don't know that they're going to feel a whole lot better about things because they've clearly been outplayed all game long. But, hey, no reason not to take the points when the opportunity presents itself.
So it would no doubt be a miracle comeback from here, but let's see what they can do starting with the onside kick. And the effort snuffed out. The Texans' hands team recovers. 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
A 1st down carry now for Yeldon. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. Good gain there on 1st down. It keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front. Good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They're in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. That's good for a Texan 1st down, a 12-yard pickup.
Well, I'd say that run's pretty emblematic of what we've seen all day long. No matter what they've done on offense, this offensive line has controlled the line of scrimmage, given them time to throw it, run it, do whatever they wanted. That's why there are points up on the board. And right now, the psyche of the offense, we're in control, and we can do whatever we feel like doing out here on the field.
And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve.
People trying to say I'm on the enemy. Got a cold with my dogs, can't get in between. I can give them life, no more energy. Man, amen. Spent about 60 on the time, I can't even lie. No way in, no way out, do or die. So on roll, when I roll, must be. Amen, man. I can't ride Benz, I don't do peace. I beast, I gotta eat. Saber tooth, tiger, diamond tooth.